Yeah, I think stuff to do with family overwhelms me quite a bit. You know,
Service. My father's first words on entering Westminster Abbey.
a world and a job that actually does impact people's lives for the better.
Prince Harry's on a plane to the UK right now, and this isn't some casual family visit. Sources close to the palace are saying he's in full panic mode, racing against time to save something he never thought he'd actually lose, his royal titles. And here's the thing that should terrify him. The person he needs to convince isn't his father, it's his brother. William's apparently taken control of the situation, while King Charles battles his health issues. And if the reports are true, William's already made up his mind about what needs to happen to Harry and Meghan. This is the kind of royal drama that doesn't happen often.
What if the man who once walked away from the royal family became the one to expose its darkest scandal yet?
Where a prince is literally begging to keep his identity, his status, everything that's defined him since birth. Harry knows he's running out of options. According to insiders, he wants face-to-face meetings with both Charles and William before any decisions become official. He's apparently ready to admit he made mistakes, ready to make things right, ready to do whatever it takes. But is it too late? The palace has been silent about Harry's arrival, which tells you everything you need to know about how they're feeling about this sudden trip. The question isn't whether Harry can fly to London fast enough. It's whether...
Listen, friend, I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. This article screams William. The whole calling Harry dramatic, saying
anything he says will actually matter once he gets there. Before we get into William's real plan and what Meghan's been doing behind the scenes, make sure you hit subscribe and turn on that notification bell because this situation's about to explode. Drop a like if you want to see how this ends. Now let's dive in. To understand why Harry's panicking, we need to talk about what's really happening behind palace walls. King Charles's health situation changed everything about how the royal family operates, and most people have no idea just how dramatic that shift's been.
Breaking right now, the British royal family mired in one of its biggest crises in history.
Palace insiders are calling this a pre-succession period, which is basically code for William running the show while his father's too weak to push back. And when I say running the show, I mean William's making the calls on everything, every decision, every move, every plan for the future. Charles has always been the emotional one, the father who wanted reconciliation with Harry no matter what it took. He spent years trying to bring his sons back together, holding on to hope that somehow the family could heal. He believed in forgiveness and giving people chances to make things right. That's just who Charles is at his core.
Hello, I welcome you to this, your channel. And I am happy. I am pleased to share with you.
But his illness has given William the opening he's been waiting for, and he's not wasting a single second of it. While Charles is focused on his health and recovery, William's been quietly reshaping everything. Here's where it gets interesting. William looks at the monarchy completely differently than his father does. To him, it's not just some family institution that needs protecting for sentimental reasons. It's a brand, a business that has to prove its value to the public and everyone watching every single day. He's thinking about perception, about relevance, about how the royal family looks to people who are questioning whether they should even exist anymore.
Prince William has just fired the opening shot in what insiders are calling the most explosive royal family war in modern history.
He's not interested in family drama or second chances or emotional reconciliation. He's interested in results. Cold, hard results that show the monarchy's still relevant in the modern world. And that mindset, it changes everything about how this situation plays out. Charles would have probably let Harry back in eventually, found some way to make peace and move forward together as a family. Give it time, let wounds heal, work through the issues slowly. But William, he's looking at this situation like a CEO.
They would know things, they'd be everywhere. And if you let that creep in, the damage it can do to your family life is something that I vowed would never.
Looking at underperforming divisions of a company. If something's not working, if something's damaging the brand, if something's causing more problems than it's solving, you cut it off. No hesitation, no sentimentality, no looking back. What's scary for Harry is that William's influence grows stronger every single day as Charles gets weaker. The balance of power has completely shifted. The future king's already making decisions like he's already wearing the crown. He's restructuring how things William's work. He's planning what the monarchy will look like in 5 years, 10 years down the line.
So Prince William is reportedly upset over Prince Harry's PR stunt to fly over from the United States, and
he's deciding who stays and who goes, who's valuable and who's become a liability. And his vision for the monarchy doesn't include room for anyone who's been freeloading or turning their titles into a business opportunity. Harry's not even on William's priority list anymore. He's just another problem that needs solving, another issue to deal with before the real work begins. There was a moment back in 2023 that apparently sealed William's resolve, and it's something most people don't even know about. William was forced to appear publicly alongside Prince Andrew at a royal event. Now,
Prince William breaks into tears as Prince Harry finally reveals how much he still loves him.
If you know anything about Andrew's reputation, you know why this was a massive problem. The backlash was immediate and brutal. People were furious, questioning why someone who'd become so controversial was still being given any platform at all, and why the future king was standing next to him like everything was fine. William was absolutely furious about being put in that position. According to sources close to the situation, he felt blindsided. Here he is, trying to modernize the monarchy, trying to show the world that the royal family gets it, that actions have meaning.
The first stage of the procedure probably involves obtaining authorization from the British Parliament. To initiate this process, it is necessary—
And then he gets dragged into a photo op that completely contradicts everything he's working toward. It made him look weak. It made the whole institution look out of touch. And that's when something shifted in William's mind. Sources say that's the exact moment he decided enough was enough. No more protecting family members who damage the institution. No more looking the other way while people exploit their royal connections. No more giving second chances to people who've already proven they won't play by the rules. It wasn't just about Andrew anymore. It was about establishing a standard.
Okay, so I know you didn't leave this in my comment section, but I just saw something that I want to share with you because I think it kind of goes with what you're—
A line that couldn't be crossed. Get this. After that incident, William apparently started keeping a list. Not literally, maybe, but mentally, he knew exactly who needed to go. Andrew was on it, and so was Harry. The difference is Charles always wanted to heal wounds and bring everyone back together, keep the family intact, no matter what. But William, he's ready to cut people off completely if that's what it takes to protect what the monarchy represents. And here's the part that should terrify Harry. He's not even on William's priority list anymore. He's not someone William's actively thinking about or planning for.
Buckingham Palace just dropped a plot twist that probably made Montecito shake a little. Prince Andrew just lost the right to use his Duke of York title.
He's just background noise, a problem that'll get dealt with when the time's right. William's focused on the future, on building something that works, on proving the monarchy deserves to exist. And in that vision, there's no room for drama, no room for people who put their own interests above the institution. Harry dropped off the radar the moment William realized he wasn't coming back on terms that actually made sense. Here's something that should absolutely shake the Sussexes. A new poll just dropped showing that 47% of people see Meghan Markle as more damaging to the royal image than Prince Andrew.
Oh, Meghan, you might want to buckle up, because your ex-bestie, Niniki Pretty, just dropped a cryptic message on X. The tweet reads, "Never had an NDA."
Let that sink in for a second. Prince Andrew, who's been connected to one of the biggest controversies in modern royal history, and nearly half of the people who responded think Meghan's worse for the family's reputation. That's the environment Harry's walking into right now. William has made it crystal clear that he plans to remove anyone he considers damaging to the royal brand. And that list? It's short, but it's specific. Andrew's on it, Harry's on it, Meghan's definitely on it. There's no sentimentality here, no brotherly love strong enough to overcome what William sees as a direct threat to everything he's trying to build.
The city of lights, love, and, apparently, leaked hotel bills. Oh yes, what was meant to be made.
When William looks at this situation, he doesn't see his little brother who needs help. He sees someone who's actively working against the institution. And the problem for Harry and Meghan is they keep giving William more reasons to cut them off. Every move they make, every business venture they announce, every interview they do, it all just adds to the pile. William's watching everything. He's taking notes. He's keeping track of every reason why this separation needs to happen. The scary thing is that public opinion's shifting in William's direction. People are tired of the drama. They're tired of hearing about family conflicts and tell-all books and Netflix deals.
In a jaw-dropping moment, Prince William and Prince Harry were left completely shattered by a revelation they never saw coming.
They want the royal family to just do their job, show up, cut ribbons, support charities, represent the country. All this back and forth between Harry and the palace, it's exhausting for everyone watching. And William knows it. He knows that if he makes a move to distance Harry and Meghan permanently, a huge chunk of the public will actually support him. Remember when the late Queen Elizabeth specifically told Meghan not to use the HRH title for commercial purposes? Well, Meghan apparently just ignored that completely and has been using her royal status to promote whatever project she's working on.
Hold on to your seats, folks. Nobody expected the words that would come from King Charles's lips that night. Not in private, not in...
And right now, that project seems to be a cosmetics line. She's been posting these cryptic Instagram photos of herself applying lipstick with all the product labels conveniently hidden. And if you know anything about the beauty industry, you know exactly what that means. That's industry code for I'm about to launch my own brand. It's how you build hype. You create mystery around your personal beauty routine, get people curious about what you're using, and then boom, you reveal you've been using your own products all along. Classic marketing playbook. Get this, she's even been meeting with Chloe Mal.
For years, one of Britain's most powerful women held her tongue. Victoria Beckham, a woman who built a global fashion empire on elegance,
who's an editor at Vogue in New York, trying to position herself as some kind of beauty mogul. She's following the exact same formula that Kylie Jenner and Rihanna used. Build the celebrity image, tease the products, launch the cosmetics line, watch the money roll in. Those two turned their celebrity status into billion-dollar beauty empires. But here's what's wild. Kylie and Rihanna built their brands on their own fame and following, their own talent, their own hustle. Meghan's entire value in the business world comes from one thing. She married a prince. That's it. That's her selling point.
If I could have a conversation with members of the British royal family, which obviously includes, Harry, Meghan, William, Kate, Charles.
Without that royal connection, without that Duchess title, she's just another celebrity trying to launch a makeup line in an already crowded market. And this is exactly the kind of thing that drives William insane. His grandmother specifically told Meghan not to do this. It wasn't a suggestion. It wasn't advice she could take or leave. It was a direct instruction from the Queen. And Meghan's doing it anyway, like the rules don't apply to her. She's trying to build an empire off the back of a title she got through marriage, using royal status as her main business asset.
William and Charles's relationship is understood to have gone from strength to strength over the past few months. Particularly,
William sees exactly what she's doing. She's not being subtle about it. She's not trying to hide it. She's almost flaunting it, posting on Instagram, meeting with fashion editors, making all the right industry connections. And every single move she makes just proves William's point about why they can't have royal titles and run commercial ventures at the same time. Listen, those Instagram posts aren't accidents. In the beauty industry, when you start posting mysterious photos of yourself using products with the labels hidden, anyone in the business knows exactly what you're doing.
Why aren't William and Harry on good terms? It all started because of one woman. Once incredibly close, William and Harry were seen as the royal family.
You're building anticipation. You're creating buzz. You're making people ask, what is she using? So that when you finally reveal it's your own line, people are already invested. It's marketing 101, and Meghan's following the playbook step by step. The Vogue meeting with Chloe Mal. That's part of the same strategy. She's not just trying to sell lipstick. She's trying to position herself as someone who belongs in elite beauty and fashion circles. Someone whose opinion matters. Someone who has taste and expertise worth paying attention to. She wants to be seen as a tastemaker, not just another celebrity slapping their name on products.
Do you know which grandchild King Charles likes the most? King Charles's favorite grandchild is not Queen Elizabeth's favorite. Charles has 5.
Here's the thing though, every single move she makes just gives William more reasons to act. She's literally showing him exactly why his concerns are valid. The late Queen told her not to commercialize the royal connection. William's repeatedly said, this is unacceptable. And she's doing it anyway, almost like she's testing them. Like she's saying, okay, you keep threatening to take the titles away, but you won't actually do it. And maybe that's been true up until now. Maybe she's calculated that they'll never actually follow through because it would look bad for the family. But
well, it looks like Harry took the shot and the king said no. King Charles and Prince William refuse Harry's signature.
She's not accounting for the fact that William's running things now, not Charles. And William doesn't care about looking bad if it means protecting the institution long term. Get this, Harry's caught right in the middle of all this. On one side, you've got your wife who's building what she sees as a legitimate business empire. She's using every advantage she has, including the titles that came with marrying you. On the other side, you've got your brother who's essentially running the monarchy now and has made it very clear that using royal titles for commercial gain.
Have you noticed King Charles III's visibly tired and sometimes weak expression? Few people realize that Prince William has already been quietly preparing for the throne in 3 major ways.
Is enough to cut them off permanently. How do you possibly navigate that? What does reconciliation even look like when the fundamental issue is that your wife's entire strategy contradicts everything your brother stands for? If Harry actually wants to save his titles, he's going to have to make real sacrifices. And those sacrifices might include things Meghan's not willing to give up. Here's what's wild about this whole situation. If Harry actually wants to save his titles, reconciliation's going to require real sacrifices. And I'm not talking about small stuff. I'm talking about life-changing, relationship.
Breaking news. We finally know where those bruises came from on Prince William's neck. What I'm going to say next is
altering decisions that would completely reshape everything he's built over the last few years. He'd probably have to admit publicly that some of what he said in his book and in interviews was wrong or exaggerated. Think about that for a second. All those revelations, all those stories about growing up in the royal family, all the behind-the-scenes details he shared, he'd have to walk at least some of that back. Say he got carried away, say he was emotional, say things weren't exactly how he portrayed them. That's humiliating. That's admitting to the world.
Breaking news. British media reported this Wednesday that the advisors to King Charles are telling him to avoid meeting Prince Harry when
that maybe you weren't entirely truthful or that you twisted things to fit your narrative. And it doesn't stop there. He'd need to agree to stop any commercial ventures that trade on royal status. No more Netflix deals where he's discussing palace life. No more tell-all books. No more monetizing his position as a prince. Everything he and Meghan have been working on in California. It would all have to stop or at least get seriously scaled back. Think about what that means financially. They've built their entire brand, their entire income.
Did you know that Prince William plans to kick Harry's American kids out of the royal family? Recently, there were reports that Harry wants his 2 children to
stream around being able to tell their side of the royal story. Without that, what do they have? What's their value proposition? And here's the really difficult part. He might even have to distance himself from some of Meghan's business plans, or at least make it crystal clear that she's operating independently of any royal connection. Imagine having that conversation with your wife. Hey, so about your cosmetics line and all these projects you're building, I need you to either shut them down or make it super obvious I'm not involved and you're not using the Duchess title. How does that conversation even start?
No wonder William has seemed different lately. It's definitely not because he's getting older. First, he's grown a beard, a near taboo in the royal.
How do you tell your partner that their dreams and ambitions are threatening your family legacy? Because that's what it comes down to. Harry's being forced to choose between his wife's ambitions and his royal identity, between the life they've built in California and the life he was born into, between being his own person and being a prince. And there's no middle ground here. William's not interested in compromise. It's all or nothing. Honestly, can you see any of that actually happening? Can you picture Harry taking back some of the things he said about the family in that book? Those weren't just casual comments. Those were
why King Charles hates Prince Harry. When William was born, Charles always wanted a daughter, but Princess Diana gave birth.
Deeply personal revelations about his childhood, his mother, his relationships with his father and brother. Can you imagine Meghan shutting down her cosmetics line before it even launches just because William demands it? After all the planning, all the meetings, all the strategy sessions with industry people, it's hard to picture, right? Because here's the reality. Harry and Meghan left the royal family specifically so they could have freedom, so they could control their own narrative, so they could build their own thing without all the restrictions and rules. They wanted to raise their kids away from the media circus.
Shocking news! In 2025, Prince William is set to become the new king, but this won't be an ordinary succession.
They wanted to make their own money on their own terms. They wanted to speak their truth without palace handlers editing every word. That was the whole point of leaving. And now William's basically saying, you can come back, but only if you give up all of that freedom and follow our rules again. That's not reconciliation. That's surrender. That's Harry admitting that leaving was a mistake, and Meghan agreeing that her entire approach to building their post-royal life was wrong. The chances of both of them being willing to do that, pretty much zero.
Why has the royal family never truly supported Harry? From the moment Harry was born, he was under constant scrutiny. However,
plus there's the trust issue. Even if Harry did all of this, even if he made every sacrifice William asked for, would William actually welcome him back? Or would this just be the first test with more demands coming later? Would Harry spend the rest of his life proving his loyalty, always wondering if one wrong move would get him cut off again? Here's the other factor working against Harry: time. And I mean that in a really specific way. Charles's health situation means William's timeline for everything has accelerated dramatically.
No wonder Prince Andrew was stripped of his title as the Duke of York. He was only the first to fall, the one truly giving the royal family a...
This isn't something that's going to play out over years with slow negotiations and gradual healing. William's operating like decisions need to be made now, implemented immediately, before the situation changes even more. William's not interested in long drawn-out reconciliation processes. He doesn't want months of back-and-forth discussions, family therapy sessions, carefully worded statements that leave room for interpretation. He wants clear answers: yes or no, in or out. Are you with the program or not?
No wonder that even if Prince Harry were to return to the royal family one day, there would still be 3 members who would...
And he wants those answers fast, because every day that goes by with this situation unresolved is another day of uncertainty for the monarchy's future. Listen, there's a real question here that nobody's really asking out loud. Would Charles actually side with Harry if it came down to it? Yes, Charles loves his son. Of course he does. He spent years wanting his family back together, wanting his boys to reconcile, wanting some kind of happy ending to this whole mess. But here's what's changed. Charles is increasingly deferring to William on major decisions about the monarchy's future. Think about it.
Breaking news. Prince Harry has finally come back to the UK, and rumour has it, he and Prince William have reached...
Charles is dealing with his own health battles right now. He's fighting just to maintain his strength, to show up for his duties, to prove he can still be king despite everything he's going through. Does he really have the energy to fight William on this? Does he have the strength to stand up to his eldest son and future king and say, no, we're doing this my way, Harry stays? And honestly, if William makes his point really clear, and by all accounts he's very good at explaining his position, would Charles actually fight him on it? William's going to lay out exactly why Harry and Meghan are damaging the institution.
Breaking news. Prince William may never become king. A new interpretation of Nostradamus' ancient prophecy has stuck.
He's going to show how public opinion's shifting. He's going to explain his vision for a streamlined, drama-free monarchy that actually works in the modern world. And Charles, who's already weakened, who's already letting William make more decisions, is he really going to push back? Word is that Charles still holds out hope for some kind of family reunion, that he still believes there's a path forward where everyone's together again. But William, he's moved past that. He's operating in reality, not in what he wishes could happen. And the reality is that as long as Charles is dealing with his health, William's influence only grows stronger.
The moment King Charles dies, everything changes. Here's what happens next. The UK would activate
The power's already shifted. The decisions are already being made. Harry's running out of time to change any of it. And here's the question nobody's asking, but everyone should be thinking about: what actually happens if Harry loses this battle? Let's game this out because the implications are massive. If William makes this happen and Harry and Meghan lose the Sussex titles, they go from being the Duke and Duchess of Sussex to just Harry and Meghan Windsor. Their children lose their prince and princess titles. Their security situation potentially changes because some of their security is tied to having royal status.
Camilla's betrayal has shattered everything I once believed in. In a moment of vulnerability, while I felt...
And here's the big one. Their ability to command massive fees for appearances and deals takes a serious hit. Think about it. The entire value they brought to Netflix, to book publishers, to speaking engagements, it was that they were actual members of the British royal family with legitimate titles. They had insider knowledge, they had royal credibility. They could offer something nobody else could. But if those titles disappear, they're just another celebrity couple with stories to tell. And the market's already flooded with celebrity memoirs and streaming content.
Do you know how bad Prince William's temper can be? To the public, he's the charming, refined, perfect prince. But the real William has quite a temper.
Get this, without the titles, every deal they've made, every partnership they've built, every business venture they're planning, all of it gets looked at again. Would Netflix have paid them tens of millions if they were just Harry and Meghan Windsor with no royal connection? Probably not. Would publishers be as interested in their next book? Doubtful. The titles aren't just about status. They're about money, real money. But let's say Harry somehow pulls off successful reconciliation. What does that actually look like? William's vision for a reformed monarchy is crystal clear: tight, efficient, working royals only.
I would love reconciliation with my family. There's no point in continuing.
He points to Princess Anne as the model. Someone who does the work quietly, without drama, without trying to turn every appearance into content for a streaming deal. She shows up, does her job, goes home. No fuss, no headlines, no controversies. Could Harry and Meghan actually fit into that model? Would they even want to? Everything they've built in California is based on being able to tell their story their way. That's completely opposite of what William's trying to build. The whole point of working royals in William's vision is that you don't have your own agenda. You don't have side projects. You don't monetize your position. You just serve.
King Charles and Prince William have reportedly reached a sad point in their ongoing feud with Prince Harry. Many fans had hoped that
the British public split on whether Harry deserves another chance. Some people think he's been treated unfairly and pushed out by a cold, unforgiving institution. They see a guy who was struggling, who lost his mother as a kid, who never really fit into the system and finally had the courage to leave. Others think he's made his choices and now needs to live with the consequences. He had every privilege in the world and he threw it away to be a celebrity in California. William clearly falls into the second camp. And since he's the one who's going to be king, his opinion's the only one that really matters.
Prince Harry and King Charles's emotional face-to-face meeting reportedly included hugs and tears. According to an insider, the private...
Not the public's, not the media's, not even Charles's at this point. William's the future. What he decides now shapes the monarchy for the next 50 years. One thing's absolutely certain, though. Whatever happens in these meetings over the next few days will determine the Sussex's future forever. This isn't a temporary situation that'll blow over. This isn't drama that'll fade with time. These are permanent, life-altering decisions being made right now. Harry's either going to walk away with his titles intact and some kind of path back to the family.
With the marriage of Prince Charles to Camilla, Prince William and Harry have a half-brother and sister. They are Camilla's children from her first marriage.
Or he's going to lose everything that connects him to his royal identity. There's no middle ground anymore. So what do you think Harry should do? Should he give up the titles voluntarily and build a completely independent life in California, free from all the royal drama and expectations? Or should he fight with everything he has to stay connected to the family he was born into, even if it means making sacrifices that could tear his marriage apart? Because here's the reality. There's no easy answer here. If he keeps the titles, he's stuck playing by William's rules forever.
I hope we don't go back to some of the practices in the past that, Harry and I had to grow up in. And I'll do everything I can to make...
If he loses them, he loses a huge part of his identity. and probably a lot of his income potential. And if he tries to compromise, he's going to end up making nobody happy. Not William, not Meghan, probably not even himself. This is one of those situations where no matter what Harry decides, someone's going to be disappointed. Someone's going to feel betrayed. Someone's going to say he made the wrong choice, but that's the position he's in now. Years of decisions, years of tension, years of trying to have it both ways. It's all coming to a head in these next few days. Drop your thoughts in the comments because this situation's far from over. Do you think William's being too harsh, or is he doing what he needs to do to keep the royal family strong? Does Harry deserve another chance, or has he burned too many bridges? I want to hear what you think. And make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on, because when this story breaks, and trust me, it's going to break soon, you'll want to be the first to know exactly what went down in those palace meetings. Hit that like button if this video got you thinking, and I'll see you in the next one.